first wig tutorial. This is going to be a restyling of this super long, super pretty pink wig I have that I got on Amazon for $10. It's a really nice wig, but it's a $10 wig, so you get what you pay for. It is super thin. I would say it's probably about 60% density, and it's just too long to really do anything with. So we are going to add some light pink extensions to this to thicken it up. We're going to give it a trim, and we're going to make it big and wavy and kind of this big, flowy, cotton candy sort of a look for my Sugar Plum Fairy tutorial, which is coming up very soon. So yeah, just some of the aspects of this wig. I'm pretty sure it's about 30 inches. It's very, very long, but she is not very manageable. You can see it's kind of stringy as it goes down. It's very, very shiny. It's all synthetic, so I will be using a steamer to curl her. But the first thing we're going to do is I am going to brush through this wig just to see what we're working with. I'm just going to do this section by section. So I'm going to take this part here. It is a bit layered. There are some layered pieces that come down, but they're not very visible throughout the wig. So I have a wig brush here from Ricky's, and we're just gonna go from the ends of the wig down. And I just brushed this probably 10 minutes ago, but it's already tangled again just from me turning it and showing it to you guys. So it definitely needs some length cut off. So I always start at the end, kind of work my way up just so that I'm not pulling a whole bunch of hair out of the wig. But really, the ends are alright. It's the middle that's the problem. So I'm just going to take a pair of hair cutting shears, and we're just going to cut a bit of this off. I'm going to cut it to probably about there. Hopefully y'all can see. I'm going to cut here down, so a good 12 inches off. This wig, I'm going to add the extensions. These are the kind of more cotton candy bubblegummy pink color, and I am going to actually install them around the top of the head just so there's a little bit more fullness, and then we'll trim the extensions to the length of the wig. But this will add a little bit more dimension, and when it curls you'll have all kinds of like swirly pink pretty goodness. So first we're going to section it off, and I'm just using the rat tail on the end of my teasing comb here just to find the crown pieces, which they'll be obviously right at the top here. So this wig is very, very thin, so I want to add some thickness at the very crown, just so that if you wear this without a hat or even straightened, you won't see this white netting here. So hopefully y'all can see all of this. And I'm just gathering the hair up in my hand and turning my wig as I go. Clip in the extensions. These were, I think, $8 on Amazon. So not very expensive. Overall, this will cost you, if you already have the rollers and the brushes and everything, this will cost you maybe $20 with shipping and everything. So just a thought if you're looking to start making wigs or practicing on wigs. The only problem with this hair is it's super slippery, so you have to kind of pick up the track and lay the extension in it, and it's kind of hard on a wig head because you don't have other hands here to help you get it in there. But once it's clipped in, give it a little pull and make sure it's nice and tight, and then go to the next clip, work it down in that hair and clip it. Now this hair is so thin, I'm thinking that you're pretty much going to be able to see the tracks of the extensions until the very last moment, but we're going to give it a shot. And I am just lining up my tracks along the top with the other tracks here on these sides. So this is a 4-clip weft, and it goes almost the entire way around my wig. Okay, so all the extensions that I wanted to add have been added. Hopefully you can see the pretty two-tone kind of working in here. When you separate the hair, you can really see it, and on the sides, and when you look at the front, you can see the different reflections here. It's just a matter of keeping the top nice and covered here. So now I'm going to brush it through, make it nice and straight, and I'm going to use these foam curlers to style and curl it. So I would say at this point we're probably about 100% density. Nothing crazy, maybe even 80%. I didn't add that much hair. I still have a 3 weft, a 2 weft, actually two wefts and one clip weft. So there's still some room if I decide, you know, I want to add some color in the bangs. We can do that. But right now I'm liking it, and I think when it curls and gets brushed out, it's going to be very pretty. So I'm going to start the curling process right now. So I'm going to start with these little ones. They are green. They're just the ones that pop like that. And I'm just going to section off a bit of hair, and we're going to roller it up, and we're going to curl it. And once all the rollers are in, I'm going to steam it. So I will show you one and then kind of fast forward through the rest here. So I just take the hair, making it as straight and smooth as possible, and I'm going to roll this one in particular underneath, and I think I'm going to actually give the hair a twist. This will make it a little bit more curly. So I'm rolling it to about where the bangs start, and if you can hear the bubbling, it's my steamer. So I'm going to roll all of this and get it curled, and then when I'm ready to steam, I'll bring you guys back to show you how it looks. Okay, so I have the rollers in. They're not like perfectly super tight, and they don't go all the way to the scalp. As you can see, this one's actually kind of rolled down a bit here, so I'm gonna have to maybe pin that up so that it curls. But basically I am going to steam all of these curls. My steamer is reheating, but I'm not touching the bangs, and all of these curls will be brushed out, so even if they're not perfect, it's not really a concern. But all of the extensions are rolled in, all of the rollers are rolled in, and I think I'm just gonna get some pins and kind of stick these up in there. Now this is obviously very hot steam, so it is sizzling over there. We don't want it to, you know, be near your face or anything, and it does drip hot water, so just be very careful when it comes to working with a steamer. You can also get a hand steamer from Target, but this is just my big closed steamer. So before I hit this with the steamer, I'm taking a plastic bag, and we're just going to put this over top of the wig. This will create convection within it, So when we put the steam inside, it stays on the curls directly. Now this bag's a little small, but I think it'll do. Okay, so basically you know when it's done when you can feel the heat the whole way through the bag, and this is super duper hot. So there is a hole at the top of the bag, which is not a big deal because some of the excess heat can kind of go through. So I'm going to carefully take this off, and we can see, I don't know if you can see the steam, but I can feel the heat everywhere except the bottom layer. So I'm going to hit those with some steam. You can also just dunk this in a pot of boiling water. That's always a really easy option for restyling and curling your wigs. To keep the heat in overnight, I am just going to tie the bag off. So I am just going to take the handles, make it nice and tight around the back, and tie it up. Now the heat is in here, there is a little hole at the top just so air can get in. That air can kind of dry out the water. So I'm gonna open it up a little bit so the air will get in, let the water dry, but the heat will stay in and actually start curling the bottoms of the wig, because I can feel the heat kind of traveling around. And here the bottom is warming up and the top is very, very hot. So I'm going to let this sit overnight, dry, set, do its thing, and tomorrow I will come back and I will brush it out, tease out the curls, style it and everything, and then use it in a makeup tutorial for you guys. So now the wig has been set, cooled, dried. I just had it sitting down here kind of under a vent so it would cool and dry. So we are going to take all of these out and see what we ended up with. To take the wig brush I used before, and we're just going to give them a little brush just so there's some wave to it. And you can see with this one it's very, very, very curly, so we're going to start at the bottom and pull that curl down but not out. So see, it will fluff out, but you want to get rid of this kind of line here. And we're just going to brush through until it looks how I want it to. And mainly we're going to work on getting any tangles or knots that kind of happened out. Once it's all together and completely done, you really won't notice. And now's the time you can kind of brush and orient the hair so that it's not showing any of those clips. It looks brushed, and I just keep brushing it until it looks the way I want it to. So like this front is a little bit frizzy, kind of all over the place, but it adds a nice depth to all of your curls and stuff, and I'll smooth it out with a smoothing brush here, but this is just the initial kind of brush out that we're doing. So there were a few pieces that were just too straight to even pretend that they weren't. So I put 3 rollers in the bottom here just to give some curl to the bottom underneath, and then the front side here. So I have my steamer heating up, so while we do this, I'm going to go through with my teasing brush and kind of smooth out areas I see that are like really, really fluffy. So mainly that's going to be this kind of top section, and here I can look and kind of lift up the crown and just back comb that very top layer, and then brush it down over the parts that the extensions have been clipped into. So where else you see maybe here is a little bit too frizzy or too fluffy, just smooth it over. So this is the finished product. I re-curled a few sections and I've brushed it out. It is quite fluffy and frizzy at the bottom, and there's some tangles, so I'm going to keep brushing through those until they go away, or maybe just cut some of the tangles out so it doesn't frizz up more. But for what I want this for a Sugar Plum Fairy look, I think it's perfect. It's a little bit fluffy, it's very cotton candy-esque. You have lots of different sizes and wave textures in here. This is the end of my wig tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.